Hello guys, Omni here. I want to give you guys a little bit of an update surrounding the CW Arrowverse shows that we cover here on the channel. I made a little bit of a post about the return dates on our community tab, but there's a little bit more going on that I've learned when reading down this and going down the rabbit hole about what they're talking about doing with these last couple of episodes. And as you know, because of everything going on in the world, that production on some of the shows had been halted and postponed. Legends of Tomorrow, as far as I know, is actually the only one of these shows that had completed its entire season filming. And so all of that's been set and good to go. Batwoman, however, is still filming the remainder of its season. However, I'm not sure how many episodes they got completed. Flash had completed 20 of their 22 episode order, and Supergirl was actually in the middle of filming their finale when this all happened. So those two were really close to wrapping up. Batwoman, I'm unclear of where they're going to go with that, but we do have the return dates, and I'm just going to go ahead and kind of reiterate that here real quick. Flash and Legends of Tomorrow will be back on April 21st. Still a little bit of ways away, but it gives them time to get prepped and back and going, and hopefully everything else in the world are getting a little more ready to get moving again. Batwoman and Supergirl will be returning the following Sunday on the 26th. So everything will be back in full swing, hopefully on those days. I would not consider those tentative, at least as of now. That's what they're shooting for. But something interesting surrounding these that was being tossed around is what they're going to do with these last couple of episodes that they need to film. With everything going on, there's a consideration being made in CW on whether or not they're going to take the last two Flash episodes that were supposed to be episode 21 and 22 and condense them into one episode, or postpone them and release them in the following season, which would make this current season end really weird or abrupt. They might shoot something to kind of fill that gap, or if they do condense it into one episode, they would try to make it a transitionary episode to get it in to where it actually feels like it concludes while they kind of rework everything into the beginning of the following season. Similar things are being talked about with the season finale of Supergirl, which I think that one should just come out. I don't think there's anything they should do with that and just release it as is. Batwoman, again, I don't know where they are in their episodes right now, so it's also being talked about having a shorter season for this first season, with the remainder of these episodes pushed off, or the storylines pushed off into the next season. Luckily enough for all these shows, they have been renewed, all of them, so there is another season coming for them. So a lot of these storylines are still going to get tied up. It's whether or not they're actually going to be tied up in these seasons, which I think is really weird and interesting, and I'm confused on how they're going to tie that in and just what kind of effect that's going to have on the current seasons that we're watching right now. Some other things going around this as well. As we know, we were supposed to be, the production was supposed to be starting on the Superman and Lois pilot series for that show that's coming out as well. The new Arrowverse shows surrounding Tyler Hoechlin's Superman and Elizabeth Tulloch's Lois Lane and their situation in Metropolis. Right now, there is a TBD on when that's actually going to be coming out. No idea when they're going to resume production on actually getting that pilot made. Also, this leaves a big question mark on the already question marked Green Arrow and the Canary show that we've been waiting to get some more information about. And the premiere for Stargirl was pushed back to May 18th. So that is still going to be coming out, but it is going to be delayed as far as its release. So a lot of this stuff has been affected, and understandably so. I mean, this is a major global event that has been happening. So it's not like they can take this lightly, and they're definitely not. But it's such there's so much change and shifting going on in media right now to try to adapt with this whole situation. You've got movies that were supposed to be in theaters coming straight to video on demand, and some of them even seeing some spikes in income. I think even Invisible Man saw a huge increase in its sales once it went to video on demand versus while it was in theaters. I'm curious to see how that model will play out and what's going to happen with theaters going into the return whenever we do finally open back up, this quarantine lifts and we're able to go back out into the world. What kind of effect that's going to have into that environment. As far as television as well, you've seen a lot of a push towards remote working, which luckily enough, I've been able to do with my job that I have outside of, obviously this is not my job, but that I was able to do And it's been a struggle just to get that to work. And we're seeing this shift, this paradigm shift in the way things are working towards streaming, remote access, a lot of things going into the cloud. And I'm really interested, anxious, a little scared, because I do like the movie theater experience. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with TV and film here in the next preceding months and the remainder of this year. What can happen in the next few years? I think what was eventually going to happen to physical media and the actual, releases in theaters and stuff like that is going to be pushed up. That I think that we're going to see a lot of changes in the way these productions are put together and how they're released to the public a lot sooner than we were expecting with this transition. But I'm really excited to get back to see these shows and see what happens with the remainder of these seasons. That being said, I don't know what's going to happen or how they're going to conclude them, if they do condense these episodes or just delay the release into the next seasons. I think that's a really weird call to make. I feel like they should just kind of film the shows, but then again, I don't know what's going on behind the production. I don't know what they have to do in there. They got to have some kind of a plan, I would hope. So what do you guys think? What do you think the right way to go about this would be? Do you think they should release the season block that was ordered with the rest of the season? Or do you think they should condense whatever they were trying to do, make some kind of Frankenstein? I don't, that concept, I just honestly, I don't see a positive coming out of it, unless it's literally just to save for production. I don't know. I'm not sure. What are your thoughts? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all are taking care and being safe. And yeah, if you like this video, guys, support the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I'll catch you guys when these shows return. April 21st, we'll be back with The Flash. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody.